Tell me about it's said that you introduced Rekha to Mukesh Aggarwal.
Yes, I did.
Did that happen?
Yes, I did.
It did. Tell me about that. Was she
She was a very good friend. She was a very good friend. She's very childlike. She's pure. She's pure. If she's made silly moves in her life, it's out of an innocence. She's also trapped from her childhood. We all are trapped in our upbringing.
Yeah, you've written about it, yours.
So she was trapped, I think, but I don't know all that detail. She was between the role of the mother and father. She must have craved and couldn't get enough. And then at a very young age, I think maybe 13 or 14, 15, she had to start working. She didn't really enjoy the childhood. Those early sort of pubescent
and her father didn't acknowledge her presence.
Apparently,
because she was born of the wedlock.
Exactly. So, and he was a powerful, famous man on whim. When he was good to her, he was God. But I think there wasn't much of that. But now her whole life was encased in Amitabh Bachchan. By now, I'm talking about when I meet her.
And she was totally in love with him.
Yes.
And
she belongs to him in her soul.
In spirit.
Yes.
Okay.
And she believes he belongs to her in spirit. They have a communication.
Okay.
Things happen. These things can happen. I believe in those things.
Then why did she get married? You introduced her
No. So here's what happened. He had joined politics. She had come to visit me in New York. And then she just stayed. She didn't. She was going through a hard time because he had now become a public person, and we probably may have said that to her. There was no chance of him ever, whatever. Their alliance must have had to drift publicly no more. And she was keen to marry someone good and important, and there was talk about her marrying my brother Gulu.
Okay.
And he had a bit of a playboy reputation at the time, and so on. He lived life very big. And he was very close to the Kapoors. They were very fond of him still. So, anyhow, so it didn't fit. So she continued to stay with me. Again, this was about 5 weeks. It stayed. We had a very cute apartment, a triplex, and we did have some amazing times there together. Lovely. Introduced her to a few of my very close friends that she became very close to and fond of. She became a real regular person. She'd go for walks in Manhattan lanes, and some of these Afghani fruit vendors would recognize her, Bangladeshi, some of them. She'd always walk home early. She was very disciplined, woke up early.
But she wanted to get married and move on in life.
She was very keen to have a relationship and marry. Yes,
How did you know Mukesh Aggarwal?
No, so here's what amazing. So when I was now in Delhi, it was 80s, obviously, or early 90s, I think it was, I think 91, 92. Had a nice apartment in Niti Bagh where I lived. And she came to spend I'll come over. Bina, I have to meet some really good, decent Indian man. And I only men I meet are the hairdresser, the electrician, etc. And I can't be going out and all that. So Delhi is the right place. I'll come. So a day she picked, and mine was some of the married couples, and in a Delhi, Punjabi. Really, I did tell her there are no bachelor types in Delhi that I would recommend, but I just wanted to be with her. We had fun, and so she came, and sure enough, they're oogle-eyed. They don't know how to. So as
starstruck.
Fine as they
Delhi
were,
was like starstruck, right? It's
Exactly.
not Bombay.
Yes,
it's not
totally.
Mumbai.
Yes.
There are film actors. I mean, she's Rekha.
Exactly.
So he was one of the persons who came?
No. So I had my few girlfriends as well, right? So she got to know a girlfriend called Kamna. Kamna was a very ethnic kind of...
Kamna Prasad?
Prasad, yes. I always liked her ethnic ways. I was too Western in those days. And she also happened to be my neighbor. She still lives near there somewhere. So chatted, etc. But she's whispering to me, I cannot stand this. I'm going to your children's. And she had met Malini and Geetu. So she disappeared quietly. She said, don't say anything. I'm going to disappear. And I said, okay, fine. And then later on, she told me, my God, you get out of Delhi. This is no place to be. I was single too. Anyhow, that evening, or was it next day maybe? And I think she was staying in a hotel. She wasn't staying at my home. Kamna tells me, shall I tell you? Maybe she tells me this the next day. There's this person called Mukesh. And he is the most die-hard, ardent fan of Rekha's. He can recite any dialogue from any movie. I mean, he knows her entire life. And maybe she needs a man like that who worships her. So I said, gosh, but what does he look like? So she says, look, she had invited me to some Qawwali thing at the Taj. So I went there, and did she call him there? Maybe that's how I met him first time, perhaps. And he's non-descriptive.
Yeah. He was
In fact,
nothing to look at.
nothing much. And he was short, and he was dark. And when you got to talking and engaging, he was very nice, charming.
Okay.
But he could pass you by 6 times, you will not recognize him 7 times.
And here's this diva. What did she find in him?
No, so listen. So that evening, it was that evening I met him, and we get talking, and he said, and with such sincerity in his eyes, he's telling me, if only I could just speak to her, if there's really going to be a possibility that I could meet her someday, you have no idea what it would mean. You have no idea what you would have achieved. She'd be the happiest person on earth, and so on. So I said, well, okay. And I think I introduced them on the phone, I think. She doesn't even know what he looks like yet. See, I'm a little vague about that, the exact chronology.
Okay.
So she speaks with him, and yes, she speaks with him that day. And then 2 minutes or 3, and then she says, give me his number, don't give him mine. So she takes his number. And then she calls him. I don't know if that's the day she calls him, that night or the night after, but soon enough.
And they meet.
He calls. No, they don't meet. They are in Bombay and Delhi. And then he calls me. He's over the moon. He cannot believe this has happened to him. And then they have exchanged pictures. And then she calls me and she says, can you see him standing next to me? I mean, there's Amitabh Bachchan, and that she's a vision. So I'm saying, no, not really. But he seems like a nice man. But I mean, this is in your hands. You decide. I don't want to take any decision for you. But she seems to like. She realizes what feels good for her at the time from the heartbreak that she's in. Perhaps I'm making.
And probably she wants that obsessive love.
I think that's what
the
it
kind
was.
of obsessive love that
the
she
pain.
had.
Yes, possibly. That's true. So, within 2 months, they are passionate on the phone with each other, and now she wants to meet him, and is going to be in Bombay. So, and she lives in Bandra. She cannot be seen publicly. And, and she has a friend called Dipti, the actress Naval. Dipti Naval is very close to her. She trusts. I also know her from New York. And so, first time I think they meet is in a friend of mine. I have a friend, a male bachelor who died later. He's like a brother too. He has all our friends are sisters. He's generous and got a big place, and you can go stay there. So, in his home, he's not there. I'm not there. Dipti's not there.
Just Rekha and Mukesh
they
Aggarwal.
talk. Yeah, they talk. That's the first time they meet, and then that's when they would decide whether. So they seem to be happy. They've spoken so much already. I guess they know quite a lot about each other. So maybe it didn't take that long, and then from there on, I step out of the picture. Dipti sort of now because I had to get back to Delhi. Secondly, and Dipti has the right equation, but then I think I don't know whether Dipti learns about this from them or not. Suddenly, we read in the paper or the TV that they got married.
Were you surprised?
Very, in shock. Yeah, very.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.